Hello, everyone. Check, check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2. This is your favorite copyright attorney, Leonard French, reporting in with some breaking news. Yes, I know the music is still going. We're going to let that play itself out there, and that should be the end of that. So, hello. How is my sound? Am I synced? If I switch over here, does it look like I'm speaking to you with the voice and the words and the things coming out of my mouth at the same time? So let me know in chat. I know there's about a 30-second delay, so I'm going to just go forward and let you tell me. You don't hear any music. There was music before I started talking. That's over now. So what do we have here? What in the world might this be? This was just sent to me by someone you may know. Michael Lee is the attorney who works with the video game attorney Ryan Morrison, and they have just filed today a new case in the Southern District of New York. The United States District Court was a federal case. Akilah Hughes, who I believe is otherwise known as It's Aquila, obviously, has sued Carl Benjamin, also known as Sargon of Akkad. Now, I'm not 100% familiar with either of these parties, so I'm going to be asking you to fill me in a little bit on the actual drama between the parties. This is a legal channel. This is a legal analysis channel, and I am a very neutral person, and I try to very much to stay out of the drama and instead talk about the actual legal merits of the thing. So some people find that important. I find that to be important. And let's see what the legal merits are of this complaint. This is case number 17 CV 6493 in the Southern District of New York. Plaintiff Akilah Hughes, by her attorneys Morrison and Lee, for her complaint against defendants Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad, and some John Does, hereby alleges as follows. Hughes is a well-known writer, comedian, influencer, host, and creator with a substantial online following. Hughes produces and develops an array of original content which she shares with her audience through her proprietary website, among other mediums including the popular video sharing platform YouTube. During the night of the stunning 2017 presidential election, Hughes had the rare opportunity to cover the live events taking place at Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton's watch party. She captured footage depicting the raw emotion of the crowd as attendees learned of the election results and began to process and accept what would ensue in the days and years to come with Donald Trump in office. Using this priceless material, Hughes created, edited, and published an original video essay detailing her unique viewpoint and sharing footage shot throughout this unforgettable night. Defendants, particularly Benjamin, have been habitually outspoken against many of the political positions for which Hughes campaigns and which were included in her election night video. In an attempt to discredit Hughes and her political positions, and without a license or permission, defendants copied and uploaded wholesale reproductions of Hughes's original content onto the internet. Defendants continued to do so even after being placed on notice that their activities are infringing and after the video was removed by YouTube for copyright infringement. As a result of this willful and malicious conduct, Hughes is forced to file this action for injunctive relief, actual and/or statutory damages, attorney's fees, and costs for defendants' abhorrent behavior concerning their unauthorized use, reproduction, and distribution of Hughes's copyrighted work. Well, that's kind of interesting. Tea sipping zombies, can someone bring me up to speed? This is the up to speed. We don't know what's going on here yet. So far, we're on paragraph 4. We know that there's a lawsuit between Akilah Hughes it's Akilah, obviously, is her show name, I think, and Carl Benjamin, who is Sargon of Akkad. And so far, these 4 paragraphs have just showed us that Hughes is a YouTuber. She shot some video of the 2017 presidential election night. And then defendants, Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin, allegedly have been uploading parts and her whole video to the internet without her permission. We'll get into some of the... I did read through this once to see what it's a little bit more about, and there are some more details here. Hughes lives in New York. Sargon lives in England. The identities of John Does 1 to 10 are not currently known to Hughes. Upon information and belief, they are associated with Mr. Benjamin and have contributed to his unlawful activities. Hughes will use her best efforts to identify these John Does, and upon further knowledge and investigation, Hughes will amend her pleadings accordingly. All right, so that's what that is. The John Does are people who may have been involved. So very interesting. Let's get back to the actual allegations in the complaint. Factual allegations. Hughes is a popular content creator and filmmaker who publishes video content on it'saquilahobviously.com and her YouTube channel entitled Akilah Obviously, located at youtube.com/smoothiefreak. Hughes' body of work covers a broad range of topics including comedy, race, social commentary, feminism, beauty, and fashion. Hughes has received training as a comedian and writer from the world-renowned Upright Citizens Brigade. She has also received many accolades as a social influencer with her content and work, having been featured in various media publications including Fusion, Hello Giggles, Femsplain, and Refinery 29. Since January 2006, Hughes has uploaded a plethora of video content to her YouTube channel. Thank you for not saying a myriad of video content. Hughes's content production and reach have evolved significantly since her channel's inception, in great part due to her ambition, drive, hard work, and goodwill established in her brand. On the date of the filing of this complaint, Hughes's YouTube channel has 155,223 subscribers, and her videos enjoy a total of over 10 million views. In addition to her YouTube audience, Hughes has built up an extensive following on Twitter with approximately 114,000 followers. On November 8, 2016, Hughes attended presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's election night headquarters at the Javits Convention Center in New York City. Attending with press credentials, Hughes filmed the unparalleled events firsthand. Over the course of the evening, Hughes captured the roller coaster of emotions that permeated the Javits Center, from the electric energy of anticipation to the crestfallen realization of defeat. And what a night it must have been. Shortly thereafter, Hughes used the video footage captured that night to create a video essay portraying her reaction to the presidential election and her thoughts and commentary on the incoming presidential administration. The end result is a 9-minute and 50-second audio-visual work entitled "We Thought She Would Win." On November 18, 2016, Hughes published "We Thought She Would Win" for streaming and download on YouTube. See Akilah Obviously, We Thought She Would Win, YouTube, yada yada. Hughes is the sole owner of the copyright and all other rights to the copyrighted work, which has been registered with the U.S. Copyright Office. The copyrighted work received immediate praise for its raw emotion and political commentary, and quickly received overwhelming numbers of views and shares on social media. The copyrighted work was on its way to becoming one of Hughes's most popular videos. On or about November 19, 2016, Hughes became aware that defendants had copied and uploaded an unauthorized 1-minute and 28-second series of clips from the copyrighted work onto Benjamin's YouTube channel, titling the unauthorized reproduction of the work SJW Levels of Awareness. The SJW designation in the title is an abbreviation for Social Justice Warrior, a title routinely used by Benjamin in a demeaning context to belittle proponents of perceived liberal social policies and stances. I know Michael Lee personally, but let me just take a moment, and the artful way in which he has described the definition of SJW without saying someone is good or bad or taking a position on it, he said that Benjamin uses it this way. That's it. Leave it at that. I think that was a very artful way of saying that. The infringing work provides no additional content, commentary, or criticism of the copyrighted work, its contents, or Hughes, and contains no additional expression whatsoever. It is a bare, retitled compilation of clips of the copyrighted work. Defendants include no original content in the infringing work. Emphasis theirs. Simply put, defendants merely downloaded, copied, and re-uploaded substantial portions of the copyrighted work without the authorization of the copyright owner, Hughes. Defendants' unauthorized copying, reproduction, distribution, and display of portions of the copyrighted work constitutes blatant and willful copyright infringement. Subsequently, Hughes issued a takedown notice requesting that the infringing work be removed from YouTube for copyright infringement pursuant to Section 512 of the DMCA. The DMCA provides an avenue through which copyright owners are able to submit to third-party hosts such as YouTube notice of alleged acts of copyright infringement, and by which such hosts are required to then provide notice of the same to the alleged infringer. In response to the DMCA notice, YouTube disabled access to the infringing work. On November 19th, Benjamin contacted Hughes privately and publicly via email and Twitter, seeking a retraction of her notice, which Hughes rightfully declined. In his email, Benjamin admitted that I've been through this process with YouTube many times now. Despite their knowledge that the infringing work had been removed for copyright infringement, and despite Hughes's refusal to grant permission to use her copyrighted work, defendants continued engaging in their illicit activities. Later that day, defendants again uploaded the infringing work, this time to their Twitter account under the handle Sargon of Akkad. A true and copy correct to this tweet is found below. The American Way, thank you for your $25 donation. In the murk of the legal world, there is always a light. Thanks for keeping it lit, Leonard. You're welcome, The American Way. EM, $10, thank you. If you're going to look into this lawsuit, automatically calling it bullshit, you shouldn't call yourself irrational. It may very well be, but you should look at the facts before judging. True, that's what we're doing right now. I'm assuming you're not talking to me. I'm not calling it bullshit. I'm assuming you're speaking to someone else or just the general public. I do not actually know Sargon or Aquila, so I personally have no dog in this fight. I couldn't actually care more or less because I don't know anything about either of them. So guess what? You get to have a very neutral analysis of this lawsuit. Some things to note, just based on your question here. This is a pleading. This is the plaintiff's pleading. This is the complaint. So we can expect this to be the plaintiff's side of the story. We still get to hear Sargon's response. That will be in the form of either a motion to dismiss or an answer to the complaint. We'll get to that when that happens. This was literally filed today, like a couple hours ago. If even that, it may have even been filed less than a few hours ago. The court doesn't give us times when things are filed. They just say dates. The infringing work remained accessible and viewable to the public until on or about August 9th, when defendant's Twitter account was suspended. August 9th, 2017. On November 22nd, 2016, defendants then frivolously and fraudulently submitted to YouTube a counter-notification pursuant to the DMCA, affirming under penalty of perjury that the infringing work was improperly removed because it was, among other reasons, a fair use and entirely transformative, when in fact this was an outright lie. The infringing work contains no new meaning or original expression beyond that embodied in the copyrighted work, nor does it contain a single modification or even parody of the copyrighted work. According to 17 U.S.C. 512, a notification of claimed infringement must include a statement under penalty of perjury that the notification is accurate, among other things. Benjamin, as the signatory, acting as agent for defendants, did in fact submit the counter-notification containing blatantly inaccurate statements and assertions, thus committing perjury. True and correct copy of the counter-notice is attached here too as Exhibit A. And I wouldn't be your favorite copyright attorney if I didn't already have Exhibit A. 1 second. Exhibit A. YouTube says, we've received the attached counter notification. We're providing you with the counter notification. Here it is. Display name of uploader, the new media. Hi, Aquila. Saw your tweet, so this is a formality. I know you don't appreciate satire, but my use of your work was entirely transformative. My video is not a direct copy of your own. It is intended for parody. Happy to get this done ASAP, but I understand if you don't want to cooperate. The law is on my side either way. Cheers, Carl. So, okay, that's that. We'll go over, I'll analyze those a little bit more after I finish reading through this. There can be no doubt that defendant's infringement was willful. Aside from the events described above, Benjamin has publicly and been involved in many disputes involving copyright infringement. Benjamin is a controversial content creator and filmmaker who, like Hughes, publishes his content online on his YouTube channels, including the Sargon of Akkad channel, the Thinkery channel. Self-describes his work as anti-ideological, anti-identitarian, and routinely engages and criticizes viewpoints on various social and political issues. Benjamin's work regularly focuses on subjects including the left, racism, feminism, Black Lives Matter, and Islam. In addition to his periodic uploads, Benjamin also has hosted recurring series on his channel, including Why Do People Hate Feminism and This Week in Stupid. Due to the nature, subject matter, and presentation of this content, Benjamin regularly is the subject of media coverage and is publicly known for his provocative style and strongly held beliefs against liberal social and political stances. This is not the first time that Benjamin has been accused of copyright infringement. His prior dealings and his own statements show that he is familiar with both the concept and bounds of the doctrine of fair use. On June 9th, 2017, Benjamin uploaded the video Heart of Stereotypes to his YouTube channel Sargon of Akkad. This video served as a scathing commentary on a video uploaded to the YouTube channel of the popular British newspaper The Guardian, who took issue with Benjamin's provocative critique and issued a takedown notice to YouTube pursuant to the DMCA to remove Heart of Stereotypes from YouTube. This takedown notice was based on Benjamin's use of the entirety of The Guardian's video in his own. In response to The Guardian's takedown video, YouTube disabled the Heart of Stereotypes from its site. Following in an ensuing litany of high-profile press coverage and public statements on Twitter, Benjamin and his supporters defended Benjamin's video as non-infringing fair use commentary. Upon information and belief, Benjamin is also the owner of a YouTube channel entitled The New Media, a channel which, upon information and belief, was terminated on or around March of 2017 as a result of multiple third-party claims of copyright infringement. Beyond deactivation of his channel, The New Media, for repeated copyright infringement, Benjamin has been involved in high-visibility disputes that question whether his content qualifies as non-infringing fair use of others' works. Okay, so he's establishing that this is not the first time that Sargon has used works in a unauthorized manner. Benjamin is clearly well aware of and possesses knowledge regarding the DMCA process, the legal concepts and principles defining copyright law, and the boundaries of fair use. Therefore, his infringing activities in this case are undeniably willful. Defendants' actions complained of herein constitute an egregious display of bad faith. Defendants were clearly motivated by and chose to selectively target Hughes based on her disparate political beliefs. It is obvious that Hughes was unduly singled out by defendants in a vindictive attempt to stifle her creative liberties in favor of defendants' own interests. Defendants' malicious, unauthorized, and unlawful conduct has caused Hughes irreparable harm. Defendants have willfully infringed on the copyrighted work to Hughes' substantial detriment, leaving Hughes without adequate remedies at law. Upon information and belief, defendants have unfairly derived profits from the infringing work in the form of advertising revenues generated from its upload to and availability on YouTube. Upon information and belief, defendants also have unfairly benefited, deriving profits from increased popularity of their YouTube channel attributed to the infringing work. So the first claim for relief is copyright infringement. Basically, just the unlawful copying, reproduction, distribution, and publicly displaying of substantial portions of the copyrighted work. And they're looking for actual damages and profits, DMCA misrepresentation for second claim. So that is usually a claim for the injury as well as the attorney's fees, so costs and attorney's fees. Prayer for relief, that the court enter an injunction ordering defendants, their agents, servants, employees, and other persons in privity or acting in concert with them to be enjoined and restrained from reproducing or distributing her copyrighted work, and from in any manner infringing or contributing to or participating in the infringement by others. That defendants be required to pay Hughes actual or statutory damages, if Hughes so elects, of up to $30,000 for each copyrighted work infringed. If the court finds that the infringement was committed willfully, Hughes so elects, up to $150,000 per copyrighted work infringed. That they be required to pay actual and punitive damages, including costs and attorney's fees. That they remove all text, media, online posts, and other unauthorized reproductions of the work within 10 days. That the court retain jurisdiction of this action. That defendants be prohibited from a discharge of any judgment because it is a malicious, willful, or fraudulent injury. That Hughes recovers her costs and reasonable attorney's fees and other such relief that the court may so award, may so deem appropriate. So, wow. Okay, so that's a breaking news story. Akilah Hughes versus Sargon of Akkad, a.k.a. Carl Benjamin. Very, very interesting. So I don't know too much about these parties, and it seems like the parties are kind of controversial parties to begin with. So I don't know how much I want to get into any of the politics of this, but what happened was, at least according to this, was that Akilah Hughes made a video about the Hillary Clinton loss in the 2016 presidential election, and Sargon and others who may be involved with Sargon copied her video and re-uploaded it in whole and in part. And the plaintiff here, Ms. Hughes, is claiming that they did not do so with any transformative purpose, any transformation, any critique commentary, and therefore no fair use. So this is a live copyright allegation as far as I'm concerned. This is the opposite of the H3H3 lawsuit, where we saw the H3H3 lawsuit was a fair use. The H3H3 video was a fair use because they made critique and commentary. This is alleging that there was no critique and commentary, and therefore, if you don't put in some critique and commentary, basically some genuine critique and commentary, or otherwise make the thing into a fair use, which may require research or talking to your attorney for a specific, some specific legal advice on how you do that. Who knows? You're going to be guilty of not guilty. You're going to be liable for copyright infringement. It's not going to be a fair use if you don't if there's nothing in there. So I did not see her video, and I have not seen his videos. I'm probably not going to see them. But if that's true, then yes, this was copyright infringement, and he'll probably be looking to settle this case rather than to go to court over it. Someone wanted to know about jurisdiction. Let me check on what the jurisdiction issues here were. Someone said that I had shown his entire address, so let me redact that out real quick. I don't want to do that. Mark for redaction. Apply. Okay, now we can switch over. So, jurisdiction. The plaintiff here is saying that Sargon from England is subject to the court's jurisdiction because they have committed the acts in this district and do business in this district. So I'm assuming they're going to be making the argument that they do business in New York and therefore they are subject to jurisdiction in New York. YouTube itself is headquartered in California, and YouTube's terms of service state everything's out of Santa Clara County, California. So, maybe Sargon could make the argument that it belongs in California court. That's not going to help him much, right? Because if he's in England, that's just that much further of a flight, and I'm not sure that that's any cheaper or any easier for him. Let me go over some of your super chats. Thank you very much, everyone. Some random, $5. Since Sargon lives in UK, that's the question I was answering for you there. Thank you very much for your question. Hope I answered it sufficiently there. They are claiming that that the injury occurred here in New York. Let's see. Dithrophis. Critique can be achieved solely with editing and preservation. You would really have to... Yes, I could see that. Especially if you very carefully edited together like people's words or sentences to make a reverse point. If that's the case, great. Sargon has a great defense because that should be a fair use. Parody is a fair use. And yes, you probably can achieve critique and commentary without having to say the critique and commentary. You can probably edit something together to do that. It's now Sargon's turn to make that argument in court. So if it really was just a copying and there is no real critique or commentary, then it's not a fair use. Now, we saw from the H3H3 case that critique and commentary analysis, that fair use analysis, does take the entire context into account. So is it possible that he posted the edited version on a YouTube channel with a description that had critique and commentary? Maybe. Will that be enough to overcome the copyright infringement claims and make an affirmative or a fair use defense that is dispositive of the case? I don't know if it reaches the fair use level. So that will be yet another case for a judge to decide fair use. Is it fair use to use the clip on your channel and then just make your critique and commentary somewhere else? I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't sound like that is fair use right off the bat. Sid the Vicious, thanks for the Canadian $10. Just wanted to say, Leonard, you're a sexy bitch. Lots of love, dude. High five. High five back, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. There were some others I missed at the beginning here. I'll get those here up on my screen in a second. So any questions here? Holy crap. That's one heck of a thing. Not enough popcorn in the entire world, someone says. Let me open this link in a new tab so I can say thank you to... That was the wrong link. There we go. Oh, M gives $5 and says, now that H3H3 is won, what are we supposed to spam you asking about nonstop? Hey, guess what? There's a new case. You can ask about Hughes v. Benjamin. Tactical Bra, thank you for the $5. Could clever editing for the sake of commentary count as parody? Clever editing, I think could. I just haven't seen it yet, so I think I'm gonna need to see Sargon make that argument. Thank you, Jax Merrick, for the preemptive facepalm, $5. Matthew East, thank you for the $5. Appreciate you all. Riesenden, 5 British pounds. What powers do the courts have to compel someone to answer a lawsuit in the U.S.? There are. There was a recent, actually, there was a recent Supreme Court case, I believe, U.S. Supreme Court case, that said that there is enough international law that we can serve people overseas. And if you follow the proper service by mail procedures overseas, which I believe that was the court case, not answering all service questions, just the service by mail question. But yes, you can serve people overseas, and then they have to respond with the appropriate motion to dismiss or whatever. If Sargon didn't respond, then Hughes will automatically win, or at least the judge will give her a chance to automatically win. And if she automatically wins, then Sargon doesn't really have a argument about not having a chance to respond if he has been properly served and notified. What can happen? Well, if there's a judgment in the US against Sargon in the UK, well, one, anything in the US is reachable. So if he makes money from YouTube, it is possible to get an injunction, a court order, or whatever, from a judge saying we're going to take part of the YouTube money. And then YouTube has to send the money to either Hughes attorneys or to an escrow account for somebody or something. And then that money goes to Hughes until the judgment's paid off. So, yes, Sargon is reachable in the U.S. even if he lives in England, because it's a global economy. We all do business with a lot of different people. And I'm assuming that even if it was some weird foreign country, there's probably still a way. It might be expensive, but there's still probably a way. Birdosaur something like that. Can Sargon win via how short the video is? No. We saw in the H3H3 video that the amount and substantiality of the portion copied is not a calculation of time versus length, or time used versus length. It is more of a whole consideration, more of a 10,000 foot or less of a calculation that way and more of a consideration. Canadian $2 from someone with a name I can't pronounce because it's not in a language I can read. Stance on political stances in legal documents only where necessary. Imagine if the political stance was opposite of the judge's stance, because you don't know who your judge is going to be. Then you might be distracting. Imagine if your political stance is in alignment with the judge might feel biased. So just leave it out and let your judge make their judgments on the merits. This is also why you see attorneys in nice suits, but not often flashy suits if they appear in court, because you just don't want to distract from the judges making a proper, unbiased opinion. Noir Le Sable. FYI, you should probably redact the postcode too. They narrow it down pretty far. Okay, I'll redact the postcode. And then I'm going to post this on my website at some point, too. Brandon asks, is there an update to the H3H3 case? LOL. Thank you for the $2, Brandon. How about North Korea? Jinzo the Defiler. How about North Korea? Yeah, you may not get too far if you have to sue somebody in North Korea. Sorry. That might be, you might have found the one there. That's probably a good one right there. Deathrophis, wouldn't it be similar to how sampling, remixing of music can be transformative? Yes and no. Thank you for the €5. But the sampling and recording of music, when you use a sample, it is technically per se copyright infringement. There is no more that needs to be proven. So the mashups cases, I think we're still the jury's still a little bit out, because we've had some recent verdicts or opinions that said that copying a sound recording, any part of it, is still per se copyright infringement. So yes, I think it could be transformative. No, I don't think we have the right case law for that yet. Hang on here. Let me quick redact this before I forget. So redacting out also his zip code, postcode. Got it. Saved. Anyway, all right. So what do we think of that? That is a heck of a thing. Here, I can turn the music back on. Yeah, that's fine. Put my earphones in so I can hear it. Whew. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. It is Friday. I don't want to keep you too long. DMCA, thank you for the $20 Canadian. Great analysis, Leonard. Keep up the good work. We're dealing with this stuff every day at dmca.com. So this is entertaining and interesting commentary. Love what you're doing. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much. And I'll have to check out dmca.com. I have no idea what's there, and it sounds interesting. Brandon, any other questions? You can send them to me in chat. What, redacted Exhibit A? Yeah, I'll grab that. Oh, yeah, you're right, that is. Yeah, that is on there. Definitely do that. You expect it to be Anita who sued Sargon? Hi, Brian Fisher. I just got here. What happened? Well, Akilah Hughes, who is It's Aquila, obviously, she has sued Sargon of Akkad for copyright infringement. He has allegedly... hang on, real quick. Apply. He has allegedly uploaded a video that she made of the 2016 presidential election night that she spent with Hillary Clinton's campaign, and of course experienced their loss. So she made a video about that, and Sargon, who may or may not have opposing political views, appears to have copied her video and re-uploaded it without any critical commentary or anything. Yeah, so there we go. There's the redacted counter notification. And I think something in here said that he has not offered any critical commentary whatsoever. Yeah. The infringing work provides no additional content, commentary, or criticism of the copyrighted work, its contents, or Hughes, and contains no additional expression whatsoever. It is a bare, retitled compilation of clips of the original work. Defendants include no original content in the work. Thanks for the Canadian $2. Thanks for your opinion, Keegan Burton. Thank you very much for the $2. Admiral Zarakas, the Norwegian 100. I'm falling too far behind to keep watching you live. Keep up the good work. I'm sorry about that. The Swedish 20, Rella 201. Thanks for the informative vids on copyright law. Appreciate you all. So yeah, this is a very interesting complaint that we've got here. Why is this? I don't want this red. This is not being redacted. Please do not redact this. No, see, it's trying to redact it. I don't want you to do that. There we go. Zizix Wolf, are compilations transformative? Give doggos a bone. Compilations are not automatically transformative, no. So do not assume that just because you've put things together in a compilation that makes it your own copyrighted work. Remember, that's what we're talking about here. If you transform a copyrighted work, now you have a new copyrighted work that is yours. So the idea would be that you did enough to Akilah Hughes's video to transform it into a new copyrighted work that is so different from the original as to not overlap, not usurp, well, not just overlap, but not usurp the market for the original copyrighted work. And this is going to be an argument. I'm sure that Sargon, Mr. Benjamin, will have an argument that his copyrighted work, or his work was a new transformative copyrighted work. But the plaintiff's argument will be that there was no transformation here. And if plaintiff wins, then Sargon's going to owe some money. If plaintiff loses, then who knows what happens there. Sargon might at least have a claim for his costs, but probably not. And I wouldn't expect an attorney to take a case like this without a pretty, I don't know, 80% plus chance of winning, a pretty good chance of winning. Erik W. Talberg for the Norwegian 200. Wow, not to be surpassed by the stupid Swedes and the puny Danes. Keep up the great work, Leonard. Thank you very much, Erik. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. Check Discord. Zizix, thank you. Yeah, I'll check into the error on the PDF. What am I, Cerulean? Oh, no, okay, Cerulean, you were talking to somebody else. All right, yeah, I'm good. All right, what did the John Does do? The John Does are accused of coordinating or collaborating or contributing to the copyright infringement, and it's a very bare and vague allegation. So what this does, by making that allegation, it gives the plaintiff permission to ask questions about those John Does. And if Sargon answers those questions, yes, my assistant helped me, my friend helped me, my whatever, somebody helped me, then plaintiff is going to have the right to ask for a list of people that helped. And then they're going to be able to go after those people as part of this as well. And depending upon how many acts of copyright infringement there were and how many people, the judge may give multiples here. You may get a few $1,000s or more for one act of copyright infringement times the number of John Does or times the number of infringements. So the judge gets to make those determinations here in this case, and the plaintiff gets to ask for those things. Mike Novelli, thank you for the $5. Isn't anything with audio digitally sampled, so to claim the audio part, not the video as infringing kind of a sample, kind of like wiretapping? Yes, all audio is, especially today, recorded from some kind of sample, but those clips are licensed, or sometimes even not even licensed, and they're just open and free to use. This we're talking about specifically her audio and video synced up in a video composition of a new audiovisual work. Those things are exclusively hers, and if anybody takes any part of that, then that is some kind of copyright infringement, unless there is a fair use defense or some other defense. And in this case, they're saying, the plaintiff is saying, that there is no defense. So that's that. Matthew Gilgum. Sorry if this is off topic, but what is with the huge stack of 18650s behind you? Thank you for the $5. I build things out of those batteries. Yes, they've been there a little while. I've been using them slower over the years. I expected to go through them a little bit faster as I was building e-bikes for a long time. For a couple years there. But believe it or not, my e-bike batteries are lasting very long, so I haven't needed to burn through them. And instead, those are just sort of backups that I use as I make projects and things. Believe it or not, I got that whole stack for about $300, so I'm pretty proud of that. Rella201, thank you for the Swedish 200, matching the Norwegian 200 that was given. You guys are so funny, and I'll be happy to sit here and watch it happen. How do they plan on suing him if he lives in the UK? There are rules about suing people internationally, and yes, they should be able to reach him internationally. Now, the judge gets to hear arguments that the case doesn't belong in New York court, so Sargon gets to make the case that it belongs in some other court. That's an argument he gets to make. So Sargon could attack this by saying, yes, it was a fair use, and here's why. My compilation was some kind of critique or commentary. Or he could say it's in the wrong court, that it belongs in a different court. So those are that's up to him to make those arguments. Sometimes it's cheaper just to settle the case, especially if he's a big YouTuber or he's a person who has the means or wealth to be able to do that. Maybe you just settle the case instead of having to respond to it and potentially lose. But those are considerations. Those are brainstorming sessions that Sargon will have with his attorney. And I don't need to speculate for him here or anything like that. But imagine if you're in his shoes, you'll be considering how to defend yourself. But this looks like a pretty solid complaint to me, and unless something here is false, I'm not accusing anyone of lying, but I'm saying unless anything in here is false or incorrect, or there's a perspective or fact that we're not being shown, then this looks like some kind of copyright infringement. It does not look like a fair use. But I'm looking forward to hearing Sargon's response, and we'll put this on the list of cases that we keep track of and do updates on. And now everybody can ask, how's the Sargon case going? Or how's the Akilah Hughes, obviously, case going? What's the worst punishment Sargon could get? Asks Marty McFly. There were some numbers thrown around in here, like 30,000 and 150,000. Probably not that high, at least for one infringement. The infringement will probably be a few $1,000s or more, plus the opposing side's attorney's fees. So it could get as high as 30,000 or more, but only if it goes that far. Just the copyright infringement itself probably won't be 30,000. Usually judges use that for the most egregious kinds of copyright infringement. Gabriel Gray, 30 euros. This will make an interesting precedent, surely, given how little certain reaction videos add to content. The context with H3H3's recent ruling should be good. Also, Ireland's better than Sweden is better than Norway. Thank you, Gabriel, for the 30 euros. So it does look like she has a case. I'm not siding with anyone, but why sue if the video is down? Sometimes people have their own reasons for wanting to check, wanting put limits on this sort of behavior. You put up a video and then someone else screws around with it. And that sucks. You just want to make more videos. Really, when I wake up in the morning, I just want to make more videos for you and, enjoy my life as a human person on Spaceship Earth. And when someone gets in my way, like the insurance company did last Friday, or, when just life gets in the way because life does that, then you're just not making as many videos and you're not enjoying your life. And then there are these fuckers that get in the way, that specifically look for people to attack and look for ways to make things harder for you. And you know what? That just sucks, because here we are trying to make the world a better place, trying to make our lives better, trying to make our communities better, and people are just getting in the way on purpose. And that just sucks. Now, I don't know if I'm not saying that Akilah Hughes and Sargon were in each other's way or making the world a better place. I don't know them. But that's what it's like for me. So if someone was fucking with my videos because reasons, I'm going to want to go after them, even if they've taken the video down, even if, you flattened them by getting rid of their channel, or someone else got rid of their channel or Twitter or something like that. So, in the spirit of Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, this is Sargon of Akkad when the suit fell. Judge Forrest with her hammer held high. This hasn't been assigned to Judge Forrest, though. I don't know who this has been assigned to yet. Let me see if I can take a look. I do have it here. As soon as it reloads. If it ever reloads. No, this is so new it has not been assigned a judge yet. Hang on. No. This is so new it has not been assigned a judge yet, so I have no idea if this is assigned to Judge Forrest or not yet. Paradise of Darkness says, I just came, what is going on? Akilah Hughes, otherwise known as It's Aquila obviously, has sued Sargon of Akkad for copyright infringement. The copyright infringement came in the form, allegedly, of her video of Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign loss, the evening of the loss. She made a 9.5-minute video of it. Sargon and crew allegedly copied it without a fair use and reposted it. And it was not a fair use. There was no critique or commentary alleged by plaintiff. And if that's the case, then it would be some kind of copyright infringement. Segueing very nicely into Zissix Wolf's $2 question, does Aquilah's copyright registration make her case stronger? Yes and no. The copyright registration enforces only the damages part of the case. When you register a copyright, you get access to a higher level of damages or a different calculation of damages called statutory damages or damages set by law. And you don't have to prove the actual monetary damage that you suffered. You just have to prove the copyright infringement, and then you can argue to the judge how egregious the violation was. And then the judge will decide what the appropriate level of damage is on a scale of $750 minimum to $150,000 maximum per infringement. That is the damages for that, or considered the statutory damages for that infringement. Rob Deltoni, if he attempts to make the clever editing claim for fair use and the court tosses that defense out, what would that do damage to potential fair uses by others who make the same clever editing claim? Usually judges will limit that sort of opinion to the specific circumstance, so I would expect that only the judge's ruling would apply only to that specific circumstance. But yes, in general, generally speaking, if the judge makes a ruling that the clever editing is not a fair use, then you would expect that other examples of clever editing would not be a fair use. Sorry there, I'm getting distracted by Admiral Zarakis here and his Norwegian 555 that he is sending me. You force my hand, Norway is the best. Cheers from the 7-minute behind club. Holy mackerel, I'm so sorry. I'm only streaming at 4 megabits per second, so I apologize if that's too much. Jonathan Luoto, €5. Ha, the Nordics don't even have the euro. Oh, that's funny. Thank you very much. That's very nice. Thank you very, very much, all of you, for your generous donations. I really appreciate them all. And you can expect more from me just because of your donations, because your donations, you know what your donations do? They buy me space. They buy me the ability to say no when someone calls with a distracting traffic case or a distracting divorce case or custody case. Now, if someone's truly in need, please, believe me, I will get them the help that they need. I'm not turning people truly in need away, but these are just clients who can go find another attorney. And if I'm distracted from making videos for you, then I'm not making more videos for you, duh. And if I can turn away that business because I know that I can pay my bills and I can keep making videos, I can keep making videos. That's awesome. Thank you so very much for all that. I'll shut up about that now. Vienna asks, do you think they may have waited to file this lawsuit based on the H3H3 judgment? No, I've not had any indication that that's why they waited. I do know that Michael Lee, Morrison, and Lee was involved with the H3H3 case back in the beginning. I don't know how involved they were at the end. Maybe they waited just to make sure that ruling said fair use is a solid thing still, and it applies to YouTube just like anywhere else. That was not unexpected, though. It was very, very much expected. I think this must have just been how long it takes for a claim to happen and then someone to follow through with the claim. That's why we have a statute of limitations. The statute of limitations is 3 years, so they were actually allowed another 2 years before this claim would be extinguished. More than 2 years before this claim would be extinguished. How would you expect Sargon's lawyer to defend the case? Asks Berto Sorclus. Mostly, I would expect them to file a motion to dismiss based on jurisdiction. I'm not sure if that would win. And then they might file the same motion to dismiss might include a claim that the copyright infringement claim is a fair use. And so the judge will probably deny a motion to dismiss because fair use claims would have to be decided on the merits, on like summary judgment or something. If the only possible win there on a motion to dismiss, I think, would be jurisdiction. So somehow Sargon would have to say that he doesn't do enough business in New York to subject him to jurisdiction in New York. The YouTube channel and everything, I don't know. That probably subjects him to jurisdiction in New York. I don't know. That's going to be a very interesting argument. And then the rest of the defense would be the fair use defense, that it's clever editing or something like that. That's really about it. There's almost no defense here. So I think this is a very good case for attorneys Lee and Morrison to take. And so I'm looking forward to seeing this play out. Someone's asking for the 30-second recap. Brain Ninja Midget is asking for the short version recap. The short version is that Akilah Hughes has sued Sargon of Akkad for using her video of the 2016 presidential election night. She made a 9.5-minute video about Hillary Clinton's loss, and Sargon, apparently taking issue with her position on things, copied her video and re-uploaded it in whole and in part, and apparently with no commentary or criticism, nothing that creates a fair use, according to plaintiff. And if that's true, they're saying that they want a court order preventing any more of this from happening, as well as monetary damages. So, yes, everyone, thank you for joining me. Do like the video if you like the video. Do subscribe to the channel if you want to see more legal news like this and want to see more of my pretty face and my big nose. We have a Discord channel. Somebody could post that in chat, please, Brandon, and you can join us for live chat on the Discord channel. And I do have a Twitch gaming channel under Leonard French where I play PUBG mostly and other games on live on stream, and we talk about things. We shoot the shit on stream, you know, as streamers do. So thank you all for joining me there. Does anyone have more questions? Is the video still up? No, I think the Sargon video is down. I'm not sure. Someone had mentioned that. Again, I have almost no knowledge of these parties, and I am rather just looking at this brand new breaking lawsuit that so far almost no one else has seen. I was given a great privilege and honor here to be able to break the news on this case. So just that's amazing. Ascending Fire says Sargon is going down, and that, I mean, in a sense, Sargon is going down. That he's been sued, and he'll probably have to answer the lawsuit in some form, and maybe make a either video response or at least a legal response. And so I don't know if that's going to take Sargon down. I don't know about that. Sargon, I don't know how he will be affected. I don't know if he's going to be affected in any way, like financially. His fan base may feel empowered by this. These are controversial topics, and you've seen the way controversial topics are treated these days. He may be able to raise a whole lot of support for his defense. Thank you, Captain, for posting the Patreon link. Yes, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/ljfrench, and if you would like to support me, anybody who supports gets put up on my scrolling LED panel behind me, which I realize you can't see because I got the thing up, as well as the description below on my videos, as well as I do have a Sunday live stream I do every Sunday specifically for the patrons, and then we do a public show after that. and you get special recognition on the Discord channel as well. You show up gold, whereas everybody else shows up in their other colors. So thank you all for joining me. I've heard some calls for the dogs, and they are here. So let's see if I can get a dog over here. Meanwhile, Ingy Bingy 2000 asks, what is he getting sued for? And I'll recap real quick. Once again, Sargon of Akkad is getting sued for allegedly reposting Akilah Hughes' video about the 2016 presidential election night as seen by Akilah Hughes in her press pass at the Hillary Clinton rally at Javits Convention Center. He allegedly reposted the video without any critical commentary or critique or fair use, and if that's the case, then that's some kind of copyright infringement. Then he may or may not have lied about knowing what fair use is on the DMCA counter notice. So let's cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war. I said dogs of war. This may take a moment. Nico. Ilsa. Yes, they much prefer the kitty voice. Hello, how are you? You know, I might have to adjust the camera here. Oh, that's the wrong one again. There they are. Make sure we get that. Hello, honeys. Let me kill. Where is it? Oh, I don't even. There it is. Playlist. Kill that. Hello, honeys. Would you like a bone? Did you take that from Nico? Would you like a bone? So here are the puppies. On your right is Ilsa the shepherd. Can you come up? Good girl. She is 5 years old. I've had her since she was a puppy, and I've known her since she was 1 day old. And I love her very much. Nico, can you sit for me? Good boy. Nico is 2, coming up on 2. He's my golden retriever. I call him my therapy dog. He's not really my therapy dog, but he's definitely very therapeutic, and I would highly recommend golden retrievers as therapy dogs. And he has a little spot on his head because he got bit by a flea, even though he had flea treatment. I think it might have washed off. Like it was the topical flea treatment, and we do a lot of those, doggy pool parties. So now he's got the medication, and his little flea bite allergic reaction is healing nicely. Ilsa, you know what I mean? Up, good girl. The lawyering has already happened, Thomas, and we are now. Can I do this? And we are now talking about the dogs. So you sort of missed the lawyering. There we go. It's a little bit better. But thank you all for joining me so much. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Does anyone have any last questions before we end this stream? It's been very nice to spend this time with you, and I'm looking forward to bringing lots and lots of more videos to you. I think the next video will probably be the basics of copyright for YouTubers, which is being sponsored by one of my sponsors. New Sensei has contributed $500 to ask me to make a video for YouTube for fair use and etc. about copyright, how to make use of those things on YouTube. So thank you very much to New Sensei for contributing at that level to make that possible. Let me find my other sponsors here, because I do like to thank them. They have contributed so much. Wow, there is so much going on. Where is it? Okay, for the month of August, again, New Sensei is sponsoring at the $500 level. Thank you very much to these $50 plus supporters: Joshua Meinsinger, Baxorn, John Cripps, Nate Beck, John Steele, Weston Loney, and Lydia Collinson. You are all very, very wonderful for supporting so much. And the $5 plus supporters are scrolling on my LED panel behind me and will be in the description below. If you join Patreon, patreon.com/ljfrench, you can join our Discord with special tags, and there are special live streams where I come and hang out with you guys on Sundays for a little bit before we begin the streams. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to check chat now for a few last questions here. Let's see. Where can I get a hat like that? This hat came from Spencer's Gifts, which was a local mall store that I have around here. You can probably find it online someplace. This is Grumpy Cat. I think the last time I had Grumpy Cat on was for the Purple Mattress video, so I figured it was time. Will Sargon have to go to the U.S.? Probably at some point Sargon will have to fly here for the trial or get permission for a video appearance, which might cost as much as flying depending upon what level of technology and expertise the court requires for that. Disco Caddy, there was this $5 question earlier. Please look at it. I will try. Sargon reposted the video here, minds.com/archive view, after the DMCA took it down. Could this cause more trouble for the suit? Yes, if he is continuing to infringe, then the court is more likely to issue a court order enjoining or preventing the infringement from happening, as well as more likely to give additional damages, additional monetary damages for the infringement continuing to occur. Starwind87, thank you, $5. How can she justify suing him for $30,000 for copyright infringement on a video that made less than 100? That's just a number that is involved with statutory damages. When you sue somebody and you own a copyright and you have registered that copyright, you get to claim more than $30,000 in statutory damages and let the judge decide that it's less than that. More realistic numbers, for example, if you download something via BitTorrent, if you download a video, the one that's clearly established is an adult entertainment video, but if you download a video via BitTorrent without paying for it, and you're just sued for the download, not for any sharing or other infringement, the cost is $2,250 per infringement. $2,250 per infringement. So this is more than just copying via BitTorrent for personal use. This is copying and re-uploading and resharing, not for personal use, but for maybe business gain or political gain or personal gain or something like that. So there's going to be a greater punishment or greater damages here than $2,250. So it's going to be somewhere up there. Yeah, I maybe don't expect it to be 30,000, but I expect it to be pretty high. So that will be interesting to see what the judge thinks is a reasonable or appropriate amount of money for this kind of infringement. So are there any last questions? Otherwise, it's time to call it an afternoon, call it a week. I think some of you are even into Saturday already. Thank you very much for joining me, those of you who are up that late, and those of you who are into tomorrow. And the rest of you, I hope you have a great Friday evening and a great weekend. I am Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. I will post this stream on YouTube. It's archived on video on demand, and we'll edit out some of the introduction stuff so that it goes straight to me. So if you're just joining us, just wait a few minutes for the stream to be posted, or maybe you can scroll all the way back in the with your scroll bar there for the live show. So thank you very, very much, all of you who joined today. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great weekend.
You got me down again.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Have a great weekend.